fellow Indians.
1.2 lakh Indians are diagnosed with blood cancer every year. Another 10,000 children are born with a disease called thalassemia. A disease a child needs blood transfusion month after month as long as he or she lives and succumb to the disease or to the complications of transfusion. And over 60 to 70% of these patients, I'm talking about Indians, can hope for a cure if only they have an access to a matching stem cells. The source in those days were what we used to call a bone marrow donors, and today the preferred source, the richest source, is the umbilical cord blood, which is being discarded after every single birth. In a country with 20 million births a year, with 20 million resources going down the drain, with lakhs and lakhs of patients who need the treatment, we had no place in India. So we said, let's set up a public, not-for-profit stem cell bank from donated umbilical cord blood, which will help Indians with blood cancers and thalassemia living globally find a source and hope for a cure. It's lunacy. Nothing existed, and we need for this project 90 crores, and we said we will get it only as donations. We turned away PEs, we turned away VCs, and we said we have faith in one thing, so this will make it happen. Today what's happening is, if I go out and I'm diagnosed with blood cancer at 3 o'clock this afternoon, and my doctor says, this is the only cure, find a match. My chances of finding a match that's applicable to every Indian, you, me and everybody, wherever you live in USA, Timbuktu, Kazakhstan, everywhere, any Indian, the chances of finding a match in an international registry is less than 10%. But if we have our own, from the 20 million births which is happening in the equal number of cord bloods which are being discarded, our chances go up over 70% of finding a match. Okay, fine, I'm lucky. I find a match in Australia, but I need $45,000 to bring in a single unit of stem cell for treatment, which is beyond the reach of almost every single Indian with these two diseases. So we said, let's do it to ensure, to enable quick and affordable access to matching stem cells for the treatment of Indians with blood cancers and thalassemia and living globally. Someone I met in the train a few weeks back, he said, what are you doing? This is what we are doing, chasing a dream. Chasing a first few crores. I'm waiting for the epidemic to start. He asked me one thing, why should we bother? We have a healthcare system, such a fantastic thing in US. I asked him, where are you living? He said, he's in the Bay Area. I said, you call 10 people for lunch and you really find out you're a wonderful cook, your wife says that at 11 o'clock in the morning, when 12:30 the guests have to come, I don't have something, an ingredient, an Indian ingredient, let's say asafoetida. It's not available. What will you do? Well, it's pretty easy. I take a car, drive around a few kilometers, it's there on an Indian store. I said, okay, fine. At the end of the dinner, that you get a call that so doesn't has a blood cancer, need an Indian stem cell, where will you go? We don't have a facility in India. That is the importance of what Jeevan is attempting to do. So what have we done all these years? We started talking about it in 2005. Nothing happened till 2008. But finally, with all the borrowed monies and being a not-for-profit still, it came to light in 2008 November. And as of today, we have raised enough money just to create an inventory of 600 cord blood donations processed and ready for use for patients with these two diseases specifically. We get an average of 5 requests a week from across the globe from Indians. And we do not find a match. With 600 we can't find a match. We know if we have 5,000, the chances of finding a match is maybe 2 out of 10. When you go to the inventory of 30,000, it's probably 6 out of 10. When you go to the inventory of 50,000, imagine there are 20 million births happening. We're talking 50,000 over 2, 3, 4, 5 years. The chances go as high as 70% of people finding a match, with a cure rate of over 70%. But with all this having said, we are waiting that what we are doing is right. And it did happen on the 1st of August. probably 116 days back, the first unit of stem cell was released for treatment of a 5-year-old boy with this fatal bone marrow disease, where he was not producing his own red cells and white cells and platelets. And today, the boy is extremely fine, we are happy, our processes are working, our thinking is working, our philosophy is working. We need 30,000 Indians, Indian diaspora, Indian corporates, who each needs to support the cost of processing one cord blood donation, which essentially is just 30,000 rupees, not $45,000 for the same quality. Probably our calculation went somewhere wrong. I was doing something wrong personally. So I said, what is it I'm doing wrong? It's time for me to learn at the age of 57. I went back to school last year, put my backpack again, took up a program on a social impact, international program on social impact for 9 months. And finally I learned what I was doing wrong. As I said, any social entrepreneurship program can never succeed unless the community which benefits in it participate in it. We don't know which one of us will get a call saying that we need to find a match for so and so. And we have an expiry date. I always say that there is only one thing which comes in this earth with the manufacturing date and an expiry date, but where the expiry date label is not visible and it's not mandatory put it on the product so that it's visible. That's you and me. So we don't know when we will need it. We don't know when someone close to us will need it. I think it is our responsibility, the responsibility of all of us who are going to benefit from it, and see, participate. This is just one program that I'm talking about. Any social impact program cannot succeed unless and until all of us become lunatic and walk through and chase the dream and help the people to live a normal life as long as they're destined to live. Join us in the dream of being the cure. Thank you.